Welcome back, dear students. Now we are up to the chapter 5, nitrogen metabolism. In the previous lectures we finished first 4 chapters up to the transpiration. Now I am going to talk on chapter 5, nitrogen metabolism. Nitrogen is one of the important mineral elements found in plants, involved in the synthesis of essential amino acids and proteins. So this is the importance of nitrogen in the plant. It is directly involved in the synthesis of essential amino acids and proteins. So there are 16 mineral elements that are said to be essential for the growth and development of the plant, and nitrogen is one of the important mineral element involved in the synthesis of essential amino acids and protein. Nitrogen is associated with the many cell components such as nucleic acids, that is DNA and RNA, purines and pyrimidines. These are the nitrogen bases involved or required for the synthesis of nucleic acids like DNA and RNA, porphyrin structure of chlorophyll pigments and cytochromes. It is also a part of many coenzymes, enzymes and vitamins. All enzymes are basically proteins synthesized from nitrogen. Biological membranes are also formed by proteins and lipids. If you see the structure of the plasma membrane or biological membrane, it is lipoproteinaceous in nature. It is made up of proteins and lipids. The enzymes that are involved in the various biochemical reactions are basically the proteins synthesized from the nitrogen. It cannot be directly absorbed by the plant from the atmosphere, even though it contains 79% of nitrogen. So if you see the concentration of nitrogen in the atmosphere, it is 79%. So the huge amount of nitrogen has been present in the atmosphere, even though it is not directly absorbed by the plants. Plant can absorb nitrogen from the soil, which is in the form of nitrates, nitrites and ammonium salt. So the useful form of the nitrogen, it should be in the form of nitrates, nitrites and ammonium salt. Then and then plant can absorb such usable form of the nitrogen from the soil. It cannot be directly absorbed from the atmosphere by the plant, even though it contains 79% of the nitrogen. So plant can absorb nitrogen from the soil, which is in the form of nitrates, nitrites and ammonium salts. Now we are going for the nitrogen fixation. Nitrogen fixation is a process by which nitrogen, which is diatomic in the atmosphere, is converted into ammonium. The fixation process frees up the nitrogen atoms from their diatomic form, that is N2. So nitrogen fixation is a process by which the atmospheric nitrogen, which is in the diatomic form, is converted into the ammonium. So this process, it is called as nitrogen fixation. So in this chapter we are making a stress on nitrogen fixation. So nitrogen fixation is a process by which atmospheric nitrogen is converted into the ammonium. The fixation process frees up the nitrogen atoms from their diatomic form, that is N2. Nitrogen fixation, natural or whether it is synthetic, is essential for all forms of life, because nitrogen is required to biosynthesis of building blocks of plants, animal and other life forms that we discussed earlier also, nucleotides of DNA and RNA, amino acids for protein. Therefore nitrogen fixation is essential for agriculture. Conversion of nitrogen into compounds by combining with carbon, hydrogen and oxygen is essential before it can be absorbed by the plants. This is known as nitrogen fixation. So the atmospheric nitrogen that has been converted into the ammonia, that ammonia which has been made up of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, such type of compounds has been produced after the formation of the ammonia, once the nitrogen has been fixed by the plants. So a variety of prokaryotic organisms have the ability to reduce the atmospheric nitrogen. Biological nitrogen fixation in short it is also called as BNF, accounts for about 70% of the total nitrogen fixed in the biosphere. The ability to reduce atmospheric nitrogen is restricted only to the bacteria which belong to diverse groups. So one of the group, it is Rhizobia, are the first group of organisms realized for their potential for nitrogen fixation. The root nodule association were the first to be recognized for their ability to fix atmospheric nitrogen. So root nodule association of the Rhizobia, which is a group of bacteria that having a potential for nitrogen fixation. So it is the prokaryotic organism that having the ability to reduce, to fix the atmospheric nitrogen in the process of biological nitrogen fixation, or BNF. If we accounts the biological nitrogen fixation or BNF, it is about 70% of the total nitrogen fixed in the biosphere. So the conversion of nitrogen into compounds by combining with carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, which is essential before it can be absorbed by the plant, this is known as nitrogen fixation. Now we are going to study the role of nitrogen in plant. Nitrogen is important micronutrient like the other nutrients because it is incorporated in nucleic acids and proteins. So it is having an immense important, or it is the essential major or macronutrient required for the growth and development of the plant because it is incorporated in nucleic acids and proteins. Furthermore, atmospheric nitrogen, which is the diatomic molecule N2 or dinitrogen, is the largest pool of nitrogen in terrestrial ecosystems. However, plants cannot make use of this nitrogen because they do not have the necessary enzyme to convert it into biologically useful form. So there are three biologically useful forms like nitrates, and ammonium salt. So plant cannot make use of this nitrogen because they do not have the necessary enzyme, for example nitrogenase enzyme, to convert it into the biologically useful forms like nitrates, and ammonium salt. However, nitrogen can be fixed, that is it can be converted to ammonia through biological, physical or chemical process. Biological nitrogen fixation, that is BNF, the conversion of atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia, can be carried out only by prokaryotes such as soil bacteria or another group of bacteria which we also called it as blue-green algae or cyanobacteria. So the Rhizobium, which is the soil bacteria, in addition to this certain blue-green algae or cyanobacteria, can able to convert this atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia. So these are the prokaryotic organisms involved in the biological nitrogen fixation. So biological nitrogen fixation is the conversion of atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia that has been carried out by the soil bacteria and cyanobacteria. These are the prokaryotes. The ammonia resulting from fixation can be transported into plant tissue and incorporated into amino acids, which are then made into plant proteins. These amino acids are also utilized in producing necessary enzymes and structural parts of the plant and can become a part of stored proteins in the grains. For example, soybean, peanut contain high levels of protein and are among the most important agricultural source of protein in the world. So the amino acid that has been produced after nitrogen fixation in the form of ammonia is utilized in producing necessary enzymes and structural parts of the plant. In addition to this, these amino acids has been used for making or for the production of proteins that has been stored in the grains. So the leguminous plants, for example soybean, peanuts, contain high level of protein and are the most important agricultural sources of protein in the world. The purines, pyrimidine, these are the nitrogen bases of DNA and RNA. So DNA that has been derived from nitrogen, and nitrogen is a major part of nucleic acids. Nitrogen is the major constituent of proteins and amino acid. Majority of the secondary metabolites like alkaloids, glycosides, tannins, glycoproteins, lignins, etc. are derivatives of nitrogen. Nitrogen combined with high concentration of chlorophyll utilizes the sunlight as a source of energy to carry out essential plant functions including nutrient uptake. Nitrogen is essential for the synthesis of chlorophyll. So we know the role of the chlorophyll in photosynthesis. Chlorophyll is a master molecule involved in the process of photosynthesis, due to which plant can synthesize their own food material. The plants are green in color because there is a presence of chlorophyll. So due to the presence of chlorophyll, plant can synthesize their own food material by utilizing the sunlight as a energy source to carry out essential plant functions. So nitrogen combined with the high concentration of the chlorophyll that has been required for nutrient uptake. Nitrogen is essential for the synthesis of chlorophyll, which is also associated with the production of simple sugars from carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. These sugars along with their conversion products play an important role in stimulating plant growth and development, along with higher protein content in the grain. So the nitrogen that has been fixed from the atmosphere, that has been utilized for the synthesis of chlorophyll, and that chlorophyll is associated with the production of carbohydrates, for example simple sugars from carbon, hydrogen and oxygen in the process of photosynthesis. So these sugars along with their conversion products play an important role in stimulating plant growth and development. In addition to this, the proteins that has been synthesized, that has been stored in the grain. The agricultural yield and productivity are highly dependent on nitrogenous fertilizers such as urea and DAP. So urea and DAP that we routinely use in our agriculture for increasing the yield and productivity of the crop plant. So this yield and productivity of the crop plant is highly dependent on the nitrogen. Nitrogen deficiency causes the yellowing or chlorosis of the plant leaves. So yellowing, the leaves become yellow in color, that we refer it as the yellowing of leaves or chlorosis of the plant leaves. The yellowing will start in the oldest leaves and then will proceed to develop on younger leaves if the nitrogen deficiency continues. So yellowing or chlorosis of the plant is one of the deficiency symptom of the nitrogen. So the yellowing will start in the oldest leaves and then will proceed to develop on younger leaves if the nitrogen deficiency continues. So nitrogen is an essential mineral element required for the normal functioning of the plant or for normal growth and development of the plant, and its deficiency causes yellowing or chlorosis of the plant leaves. Plants with nitrogen deficiency will typically be shorter or stunted and grow slower than plants with sufficient nitrogen. If you compare the two plants that has been supplied with nitrogen and another one plant is a nitrogen deficient, so the nitrogen deficient plant, it will be shorter or stunted and grow slower than the plant with sufficient nitrogen. Nitrogen stress also reduces the amount of protein in the seed and plant. Tillering can also be reduced in small grains. A nitrogen deficiency can also affect the standability of crops as grain fill occurs. If a plant is deficient in nitrogen, it will draw nitrogen out of the leaves and stalk for grain fill. This will weaken the stalk and stem, causing standability problems. So the lodging in crop plant in those where during the process of grain filling. So if the nitrogen deficiency has been occur in the plant draws nitrogen out of the leaves and stalk for grain filling. So this will weaken the stem or stalk, causing standability problem. So this resulted into the lodging of the crop plant. Nitrogen is the major and highly essential mineral element required for plants. It is abundant in nature, but it is not easily available to the plant in its free form, that is nitrates are in ammonium part, but only a few plants, these are the legumes and few non-legumes, microorganisms like bacteria, fungi, blue-green algae or cyanobacteria fix atmospheric nitrogen to its useful forms with special type of mechanisms existing in them. So here we are dealing with the biological nitrogen fixation. So various living organisms like some legume plant, some few non-legume plants, microorganisms like bacteria, for example rhizobium, certain fungal species, cyanobacteria like blue-green algae, that can fix the atmospheric nitrogen to its useful forms such as nitrates and ammonium salt. So nitrogen is the major and highly essential mineral element required for the plant growth and development. Although it is abundant in nature, but it is not easily available to the plants in its free form. But only few plants, certain microorganism can fix the atmospheric nitrogen to its useful forms with special type of mechanisms existing in them, which is known as biological nitrogen fixation. As compared to industrial fixation of nitrogen, biological nitrogen fixation does not incur any cost and at the same time it is highly efficient process as compared to the industrial fixation of the nitrogen. More than 90% of the nitrogen fixed on the earth is through biological nitrogen fixation or BNF. So if we compare the industrial fixation of the nitrogen, whatever it is a physical means or by using chemical means, the biological nitrogen fixation does not incur any cost or at the same time it is highly efficient process. And if we account the nitrogen fixation on the earth, it is up to 90%. So more than 90% of the nitrogen fixed on the earth is through the biological nitrogen fixation. Now the question arises, what is biological nitrogen fixation? The free nitrogen is converted into nitrates and ammonia in a stepwise manner, which is then used by the plant. These processes are known as nitrification and ammonification. So the free nitrogen that has been converted into nitrates and ammonia in a stepwise manner. So these processes are called as the nitrification and ammonification. We are talking about the biological nitrogen fixation. So in short, nitrogen fixation carried out by bacteria and blue-green algae, that is cyanobacteria, is known as biological nitrogen fixation or BNEF. So the nitrogen fixation that has been carried out by prokaryotic microorganisms like bacteria and blue-green algae, it is known as biological nitrogen fixation. So, or the nitrogen fixation that has been carried out by biological organisms like prokaryotes, bacteria and cyanobacteria, blue-green algae, it is known as biological nitrogen fixation. Okay. So, biological nitrogen fixation involves the fixation of atmospheric nitrogen into its useful forms with a special type of mechanisms existing in the microorganisms like bacteria and blue-green algae. So this process is called as biological nitrogen fixation. The microorganism which can fix the atmospheric nitrogen can be classified into two main groups. One is the symbiotic nitrogen fixation, and the second one is the non-symbiotic nitrogen fixation. So symbiotic nitrogen fixation has been carried out in association with the another partner. So in such type of association, both the partners get benefited. Such type of association it is referred as symbiotic association. The process of nitrogen fixation has been carried out with the other organism where both the partners are benefited. Such process is called as symbiotic nitrogen fixation. So the nitrogen that has been fixed by the microorganisms in the process of biological nitrogen fixation, it has been classified into two main groups, symbiotic nitrogen fixation and the second one is the non-symbiotic nitrogen fixation. So first one we are going to study symbiotic nitrogen fixation. Some plants have an ability to fix the nitrogen from the atmosphere through a process called symbiotic nitrogen fixation. These plants are the leguminous plants or legumes. The symbiotic bacterium Rhizobium is found in association with the root nodules of the leguminous plants such as beans, peas, gram, groundnut, etc. The association between the Rhizobium and the leguminous plants is symbiotic in nature. So here is an association between the leguminous plant and the soil bacterium Rhizobium. So in such type of association, both the partners, that is leguminous plants and Rhizobium, are benefited. The leguminous plant get nitrogen from the rhizobium, while the rhizobium in turn gets the product of photosynthesis from the leguminous plant. So in such type of association, both the partners get benefited. It is referred as symbiotic association. So the association between the rhizobium and the leguminous plant is symbiotic in nature, and root nodules act as a site of nitrogen fixation. After the infection by the soil bacterium rhizobium, the root nodules has been produced on the roots of the leguminous plant, and the root nodules act as a site of nitrogen fixation, where the rhizobium fixes the atmospheric nitrogen in the root nodules. So the fixed atmospheric nitrogen in the form of nitrates and ammonia that has been utilized by the leguminous plants for its normal growth and development. And in turn, leguminous plant provides the product of photosynthesis to the rhizobium. Also, it provides the shelter to the bacterium rhizobium. So such type of association, it is referred as symbiotic association, where both the partners get benefited. Rhizobium get food and shelter from the leguminous plant. In turn, leguminous plant get the nitrogen or atmospheric fixed nitrogen for its normal growth and development. Okay. So this is referred as symbiotic nitrogen fixation. The root nodule contains a pigment called leg hemoglobin, which gives a nodule pinkish color, as it is closely related to the hemoglobin present in the red blood cells. So the root nodule contains a pigment called leg hemoglobin. It is like the hemoglobin that has been present in the RBCs. It is produced by the leguminous plant, so the name given it is leg hemoglobin, which gives the nodule a pinkish color, and it is closely related to the hemoglobin that has been found in the RBCs. Like hemoglobin, it also combines with oxygen, so it performs the same function like the hemoglobin. By combining with oxygen, leg hemoglobin protects the enzyme nitrogenase, which functions only under anaerobic condition, as it is highly sensitive to the oxygen. So to perform nitrogen fixation, one of the important enzyme required is the nitrogenase enzyme, and the activity of the nitrogenase enzyme has been reduced by the presence of oxygen, or oxygen inhibits the activity of the nitrogenase enzyme. So nitrogenase is the only enzyme that can split diatomic nitrogen molecule for nitrogen fixation. So the splitting of the nitrogen molecule into the ammonia during the process of nitrogen fixation has been carried out by the enzyme nitrogenase. This nitrogenase enzyme is highly sensitive to the oxygen. It requires strict anaerobic condition. So such anaerobic condition has been produced by the leg hemoglobin, which combines with the oxygen. So it protects the enzyme nitrogenase. So this is the reason why the root nodule contains a pigment called leg hemoglobin. So for the functioning of the nitrogenase enzyme, it is highly sensitive to the oxygen. It is required for splitting the molecular nitrogen into the ammonia during the process of nitrogen fixation. It functions only under anaerobic condition, as it is highly sensitive to the oxygen. So the leg hemoglobins provide the favorable conditions, or the conditions required for the functioning of the nitrogenase enzyme. It combines with the oxygen, and by combining with the oxygen, leg hemoglobin protects the enzyme nitrogenase. Although this is not a problem for anaerobic bacteria, so those bacteria which are living in absence of oxygen, it could be a major problem for aerobic species such as cyanobacteria, which generate oxygen during photosynthesis, and the free living aerobic bacteria of soil such as Azotobacter and Bergenkia. So these are the free living aerobic bacteria where the oxygen forms a problem for nitrogen fixation. This is not the problem for anaerobic bacteria, but it is a major problem for cyanobacteria and free living aerobic bacteria like Azotobacter. Leg hemoglobin is synthesized by the plant, but only in the presence of the bacteria. Once the bacteria infected the roots of the leguminous plant, the response to this infection by the plant is the synthesis of the leg hemoglobin. So leg hemoglobin is synthesized by the plant but only in the presence of bacteria. Nitrogenase enzyme complex is located in the bacteria and the plant supplies photosynthetes, that is the product of photosynthesis for the nourishment of the bacteria. So the nitrogenase enzyme that is present in the bacteria, once the bacteria infected the roots of the leguminous plant, the plant start to synthesize the leg hemoglobin. In turn, the bacteria get the food and shelter from the leguminous plant because the plant supplies photosynthesis and shelter for the growth of the bacteria. Now we are going for the biological nitrogen fixation, formation of root nodules. So root nodules are sites of nitrogen fixation. When a root hair of leguminous plant comes in contact with the bacterium rhizobium, it curls or becomes deformed. So this rhizobium is a soil bacterium that has been naturally present in the soil. When a root hair of the leguminous plant comes in contact with the bacterium rhizobium, it curls or becomes deformed. So in this figure we can see that, so these are the soil particle, this is the root hair, this one is the epidermis or epiblema, then it is followed to the cortex. Okay, so root hairs are in a close contact with the soil, the bacteria is already present in the soil. So when a root hair of the leguminous plant comes in contact with the bacterium rhizobium, it curls. So the curling we seen here, where a hook like structure has been formed, or a hook is formed at the distal part of the root hair. So it becomes deformed or it curls once it comes in contact with the bacterium. At the site of curling, here at the site of curling, the rhizobia, that is the bacteria, invade the root tissue. It covers the root tissue. Some of the bacteria within the root tissue enlarge to become membrane bound structures called bacteroids. These cannot divide while some bacteria remain untransformed to facilitate further infection. So through this hook, the bacteria invades the root hairs, it enters inside the root hairs. Some of the bacteria when enter inside the root tissue enlarges to become membrane bound structure called bacteroids. So these bacteroids cannot divide, while the remaining bacteria that has been untransformed into the bacteroids, they facilitate the further infection to the root. The plants responds to this invasion by forming an infection thread made up of plasma membrane that grows inward from the infected cell of the host and separating the infected part from the rest of the plant. So the response of the plant to the infection by the rhizobium bacteria is the formation of infection thread. So this is the natural defense mechanism that has been present in the plant. Once the bacteria has entered inside the root hairs and the root cells, it forms a membrane bound structure called as bacteroid. While some bacteria that is remain untransformed can divide further. Okay, so the response of the plant to this is the formation of a infection thread that grows inward from the infected cell of the host and separating the infected part from the rest of the plant. Cell division now sets in the infected tissue leading to the nodule formation. So the bacteria that enhances the cell division in the infected root tissue leading to the formation of the nodule. The nodule thus form establish a direct vascular connection with the host for the exchange of the nutrients. So here this is the infection thread that has been formed by the plant that contain the bacteria. The bacteria here enter up to the inner cortex and the pericycle cells. It get divided and it makes a direct vascular contact or a connection with the host for the exchange of the nutrients. Now the bacteria get the photosynthesis product or the photosynthate from the plant and it going to divide. So the cell division sets in the bacteria in the infected tissue leading to the nodule formation. So this is the nodule or a mature nodule that has been formed due to the uncontrolled cell division by the bacteria. Okay, so this is the steps involved in the formation of the root nodules during biological nitrogen fixation. It is a symbiotic nitrogen fixation carried out by the rhizobium. Okay, get it? The formation of the root nodule. Once I am going to repeat it again. The formation of root nodules has been takes place in the following steps. Root nodules are the sites of nitrogen fixation. When a root hair of a leguminous plant comes in contact with the bacterium rhizobium, it curls or becomes deformed. So these are the root hairs which are in a close contact with the soil particle. The rhizobium is a soil bacterium. When the root hairs of the plant comes in contact with the soil bacterium rhizobium, it becomes deformed or curl. It form a hook. Okay, it form a hook. At the site of curling, the rhizobium invade the root tissue. It enters inside the root tissue. Some of the bacteria within the root tissue enlarges to become membrane bound structures called bacteroids. So these bacteroids further cannot divide. While some bacteria which remain untransformed, they are further going for infection. Okay. After the infection, the plant responds to the infection by the formation of a infection thread that has been made up of plasma membrane. The purpose of formation of infection thread is to separate the infected part of the plant from the rest of the plant. As the plasma membrane that grows inward from the infected cell of the host cell, separating the infected part from the rest of the plant. Cell division now sets in the infected tissue, leading to the nodule formation. The nodule thus form establish a direct connection with the host for the exchange of the nutrients. So this infected thread containing infection thread that containing bacteria grows inward towards the inner cortex and pericycle. Next to the pericycle, there is a conducting strand or the vascular connection that has been made up of xylem and phloem. So phloem is the path through which the food material has been translocated in the downward direction. So this infection thread made a contact with the vascular connections for the exchange of the nutrients. So it grows because of the cell divisions in the infected tissue, leading to the formation of a nodule. So this is the mature nodule that has been formed by the bacteria. So these are the steps in the formation of root nodules. Now we are going for symbiotic nitrogen fixation by rhizobium. So what happened here in the root nodules? The atmospheric nitrogen or free nitrogen is fixed into ammonia in the nodules of the leguminous plants like pea, bean, groundnut, mung bean, black gram, cowpeas, red gram, etc. by nitrogen fixing bacteria such as rhizobium. So that we say it is a symbiotic nitrogen fixation by the rhizobium. So the rhizobium fixes the atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia in the root nodules of the leguminous plant. The whole process is characterized by the enzyme nitrogenase. So this nitrogenase enzyme is present in the rhizobium bacterium. The energy required for this process is supplied through respiration, and H plus ions are derived from the process of photosynthesis. So energy is required for nitrogen fixation in the form of ATP. So about 16 ATP molecules has been utilized, and these ATPs are supplied through the process of respiration. While H plus ions are also required, that has been derived from the process of photosynthesis. Okay. So here the overall reaction of symbiotic nitrogen fixation comprises diatomic nitrogen, that is N2, plus 8 hydrogen plus 8 electron and 16 here 16 ATP that gives rise to 2 molecules of ammonium, hydrogen and 16 Mg ADP. So 16 ATP molecule that is supplied by the process of respiration, while the hydrogen ions that has been required, they are provided by the process of photosynthesis. So this is the overall reaction of symbiotic nitrogen fixation. So the atmospheric nitrogen or diatomic nitrogen or molecular nitrogen that has been fixed in the 2 molecules of the ammonia with the utilization of 16 molecules of ATP, and these ATPs has been provided by the process of respiration. Furthermore, 8 electrons and 8 hydrogen ions that has been derived from the process of photosynthesis. So as a result of the formation of ammonia, that ammonia has been transformed into the amino acids and it is assimilated into the plant for its growth and development. The ammonia formed at the end is assimilated by plants through amino acid. So this ammonia is further transformed or converted into the amino acids, and that has been utilized in the synthesis of proteins and other metabolites required by the plants. So the atmospheric nitrogen that has been fixed in the form of ammonia has been further converted into the amino acid, and these amino acids has been assimilated by the plants. Okay, so the ammonia formed at the end of the nitrogen fixation reaction is assimilated by the plant through amino acids, and these amino acids are used in the synthesis of proteins and other metabolites required by the plant. So this is about the symbiotic nitrogen fixation by rhizobium. In this process of nitrogen fixation, the host plant, that is the legume, and bacteria are mutually benefited, so it is referred as symbiotic association. Hence it is known as symbiotic nitrogen fixation. The bacteria get shelter and food material from the host plant, and the legume get readily available nitrogen for its growth. So in such type of association, both the partners get mutually benefited, so it is referred as symbiotic nitrogen fixation. The process is nitrogen fixation where both the partners get benefited, so it is symbiotic nitrogen fixation. In some plants, even leaf and stem nodules are present which fix atmospheric nitrogen symbiotically. The nodules contain oxygen binding heme protein called leg hemoglobin, which protect the enzyme nitrogenase from damage. Hence nitrogen fixation goes very well in the root nodules. Why it takes place in the root nodules? Root nodules, which is a thick walled, it contain leg hemoglobin, because of which it gives the pinkish appearance to the root nodules. These root nodules protect the enzyme nitrogenase from damage. It provides anaerobic condition for the functioning of the enzyme nitrogenase. Not only the legumes but many other non-leguminous trees also fix atmospheric nitrogen. For example, Ulmus, Myrica, Elaeagnus and Casuarina. All these plants are used as nitrogen fixers in forest land or a barren land to improve its fertility. So this is about the symbiotic nitrogen fixation by rhizobium by the formation of root nodule. Root nodule is a site of nitrogen fixation where anaerobic condition has been maintained by the host plant. It contains leg hemoglobin, which is oxygen binding, so it provides the oxygen binding heme protein, so it provides the anaerobic condition which is essential for the functioning of the nitrogenase enzyme. Nitrogenase enzyme is required for nitrogen fixation, which is present in the bacteria rhizobium. So the leg hemoglobin that has been synthesized in the root nodule after infection by the bacterium rhizobium will protect the enzyme nitrogenase from damage. Hence nitrogen fixation goes very well in the root nodules. So this is symbiotic nitrogen fixation by rhizobium. Okay. Thank you. Now we stop here.